Hello, welcome to my channel, The Memoirs of an M.E Goddess. I am Bernice, also known as the M.E Goddess. For those of you that are new to the channel, I have a severe Myalgia Encephalomyelitis, which has me, I'm trying to sort out the reflection, which has me 24/7 bedbound, except to get into my electric chair to go to the loo, which happens to be at the other end of our house. I'm just trying to gather my thoughts. This week something reasonably significant happened for me. I live in New Zealand and we live off a disability benefit. My husband got made redundant from his job around the same time that I was getting much sicker, and he is now at home for my full-time caregiver. And you know, we've got 4 kids, 2 are grown, and we've got a 5 and a 10-year-old at home as well. So every 6 months a review is required by the government for our benefit payments. And so Honey went to the doctor because it's very difficult for me to get out to the doctor anymore. So she usually does phone consultations if I'm unwell. Otherwise he goes in and talks to her on my behalf. Normally every 6 months, you know, we go through this process, and it's a pain in the ass, but it is necessary. Well, this week Honey came back from the doctor and said that she has now signed me off as permanently disabled, which is great from dealing with wins because we don't have to do any more reviews. But for me, it was like a real moment, a real sort of moment of clarity that I'm not going to get better. I know I say in my videos I talk about it, but it was kind of like, I didn't have hope or anything like that, but our doctor was always so positive and looking at things. Now she said the research is just not happening quick enough for me. I think there will be a treatment, if not a cure, but it won't be in my lifetime. And yeah, I think Mark sort of thought, well, you know, that's a good thing. We're signed off. We knew this already, and it's nothing new. And he's absolutely right. It is nothing new. We're having something that we thought confirmed by the last person who was hanging out for there to be something that she could really do for us medically was kind of a, yeah, it was a moment. So that's okay. I've processed that. That's how it is. That's fine. And anyone who's dealt with chronic illness like fibromyalgia or Ehlers-Danlos syndrome or ME, or you know, any of those sort of obscure and difficult to diagnose conditions knows how difficult it can be to find a medical practitioner who is on taking the journey with you, beside you. You know, I have experienced PTSD from medical treatment, from both the hospital and GP treatment. So finding this doctor was like finding, I don't know, you know, even better than finding 50 cents down the back of the couch. So anyway, we dealt with that, and that's okay. But I'm just noticing that I'm getting the fatigue, the body fatigue is getting harder. It's harder for me to get out of my bed and into the wheelchair. It's harder to get on and off the toilet. I mean, showers are a luxury now. And the thing that been classified as permanently disabled from this disease or illness may open some other doors for us, that we can access aged care, even though I'm not, an aged person. Sometimes they are able to provide support within the home, which is what we've been wanting right from the start. We've been fighting and fighting and fighting to try and get help and support. And now it looks like we've had to go through this process. I've had to be in bed for nearly 3 years. And all of that sort of stuff is kind of lining up now, that maybe now, as time has moved on, we'll be able to get some equipment at home that will make life just that little bit easier. Because, Mark can't lift me. He can't, if I fall over, he can't really get me up, because he's my little English flower. He's the delicate one, the dainty one of the two of us. Yeah, so we'll see what happens going forward with that. I had something else I wanted to talk about too, but I can't remember what it was. Oh, okay. Yeah, there was this awesome post on one of my support groups on Facebook about a beautiful young woman who had beaten her struggle with getting a wheelchair. It was a personal struggle that she was going through, because she felt that, she's young and her legs still work. She didn't have the right to be in a chair. I went through the same thing I started with a walker, but then my arms were not strong enough to, to make that work. So I needed to get an electric chair, and then I needed an electric bed. And each time, especially with the wheelchair, I felt like a fraud in a lot of ways, because I thought, my legs do work. I'm not paralyzed. I'm not, immobilized in any other way than extreme muscle fatigue and orthostatic intolerance, and the little lots of stuff that comes along with it. It took me a long time to adjust to, I don't give a shit anymore about what people think that I might be out in my chair. Not anymore. But I guess I'm talking to fellow chronic illness sufferers, whatever your condition is, fatigue, pain, whatever. Listen closely. You deserve quality of life. And if that means getting in a wheelchair, or whatever it might be, or getting equipment around the home, or whatever, you deserve it. You don't have to justify it to anybody. You don't have to feel guilty for needing it, and you certainly should not do it because of what other people might think. If you've got a chronic illness that can't be seen on the outside, it's irrelevant to this situation. If you need this, if you need to go into a wheelchair, or onto crutches, or onto a walker, or an electric chair, an automated back scratcher, whatever you need to cope, whatever you need to feel that life has given you something back, so that you've got that little bit of quality, because you probably miss out on so many other things, don't give a shit. You don't need anybody's say-so or anybody's permission to make life easier. And it took me a long time to get to that point. hopefully it won't take you as long, because you deserve to be able to function. And we'll all keep fighting. We'll all keep fighting for that we deserve the same opportunities as people who aren't sick, and also people who have obvious need of equipment. So like I say, if you need to take that step, take it. You'll be amazed at how the world opens up to you again, and you don't know what's down the line. You don't know how much quality of life you're going to have. So the longer you procrastinate with getting yourself some equipment to help you get through, the less you're taking that away from yourself. So don't do it, okay? Got it? Don't do it. If you need a wheelchair, get the wheelchair. So I think that's all I've got to say today. I'm sure there's probably more, but I'll catch it next time. So I shall sign off now. May your day be as peaceful and pain-free as possible.